My name is Rhapsody and the game's been updated again. The game in particular, of course, is Slay the Spire, and my voice didn't break there, your voice broke there. Voice? Is that the past tense of voice that I was trying to invoke? The capacitor card is now uncommon, and the transient enemy has been nerfed, so their starting damage is lowered by 10. I believe their damage also increases every turn past that by 10, so it should decrease their damage on every single turn by 10. The rest of these are bug fixes for things that weren't really something that we really had happen regularly. There's a couple achievements added in there: Focused, Sapphire, and Common Sense. I'm gonna say Sapphires have a lot of Frost Orbs. Focus is gonna have a ridiculous amount of focus, and Common Sense, but obviously, is going to have a deck win that has only common cards. That's my guess. You know what? I can actually check. Let's verify that guess. Character stats. There is Focused, have 25 or more focus during combat. Beat the game with a deck of only common cards. And Sapphire is literally just beat the game with a defect. Okay, if I knew the achievement names Ruby and Emerald, I think I may have been able to figure that one out. All right. It's Ascension 14 time. Which of course means it's time to do the Ascension rap. Someone, lay down a beat for me. Yeah. No, a bit faster. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Elites more often, normal enemies are deadlier, elites are deadlier, bosses are deadlier, and heal lasts if... No, it was your fault. You did the beat wrong. No, you have to do it, do it double time on that. Elites spawn more often, normal enemies are deadlier, elites are deadlier, bosses are deadlier. Heal less after boss battles, start each run damage, normal enemies are tougher, elites are tougher, bosses are tougher, start each run curses, potions are less potent, upgraded cards, appear less often, poor bosses, and lower max HP. Choose the right card to obtain. This is one of the ones that I am getting much more hyped about as time goes on, because you're losing max HP that I'm not even currently got represented in my current HP pool, in order to basically start defining your run. Rainbow versus Meteor Strike versus Core Surge. Core Surge is actually an extremely interesting card. It's just like a really reasonable attack. I mean, upgraded, it's 1 energy for 15 damage. But gaining the artifacting, I mean, the artifacting is good in some circumstances for the defect. Like, if you have the artifacting and then you play Biased Cognition, you don't gain the debuff that gives you -1 focus every single turn. So you just get 4 focus, or 5 focus, if it's upgraded from Biased Cognition. That said, Core Surge is also super interesting in that there are certain enemies you fight where if you gain artifacting at the right time, you completely invalidate their strategy. It doesn't define a run, though, is the thing. Meteor Strike defines a run, but... I mean, I would have to take that and then hope to either find Enlightenment, Madness, or something else super... You know what? I'm going to take a Meteor Strike. Or Snecko at the end of this floor. For a very long period of time, however, that Meteor Strike is going to be weighing us down. It's going to be actively negative. Do that. There we go. Awesome. 11. Dual cast. Perfect. There's a strength. Sunder, boot sequence, defrag. I mean, we'll take Sunder. If this deck actually comes together in the right way, then whew, things could get a bit spicy. Okay. Deal basically as much damage as is humanly possible for... no, we could have killed if we didn't play the Zap and instead struck. I was basically playing the Zap so that I would be prepared for the next dual boot. That's a focus potion. There's also a Doom and Gloom here. Doom and Gloom is win condition. We'll take Sweeping Beam. Because if we do happen to ever be able to play Meteor Strike, then card draw and AoE damage is going to be an extremely efficient thing for us to be doing. We're probably only strong enough to take on 1 elite this floor. I am going to remove a card from my deck. but I'm well aware of the possibility that I now go into the shop space and the shop space has an enlightenment that I can't afford. But it's not super likely. It's kind of like, it's not likely, but it's probably going to happen because that's my kind of luck. Okay. Alright, we could take Turbo for our first cast of Meteor Strike. Probably a good idea. Alright. This is now going to use Turbo to accelerate into those turns, so this is probably a card removal to increase the consistency of drawing Turbo at the right time. Blind, Turbo, Lock On, Heat Sinks, Force Field. Yeah, it's card removal. Ooh. Smith the... Do I Smith the Turbo? Yeah, because I want to be able to cast something else on the same turn as the Meteor Strike. Sure. So Meteor Strike and Sunder are effectively our damage. Centennial Puzzle, the first time you deal HP... Take HP damage each combat. Draw 3 cards. Alright. I'm gonna use the Strength Potion here. Try not to take a hit until next turn. Ooh, that's not a great draw for us. Turbo Meteor Strike is, though. I mean, we can also Sunder, Turbo, Meteor Strike. If I dual cast, I can give myself enough to play everything here. Beautiful. Dual cast is actually going to be quite effective in this deck as a, like, secondary mana accelerant. Mana, energy. Good lord, I need to stop playing more than one game at a time. Because I just muddle my terms ridiculously. It is insane. It keeps ruining all of the experiences that I am currently having with Celeste. Slay the Spire. Oh, Memorial, negate the Nexus curses you obtain as well as a power potion. Beam Cell is actually, specifically because these are quite large attacks, going to be a pretty powerful pickup for us. It's going to be one of those PPPs. Pretty powerful pickup. Okay. That's pretty good, because my next hand is almost certainly going to have Turbo plus... Oh, I mean, it definitely is, because of the draw. Okay, well, Beam Cell Sun to kill you. Turbo to play you. And Moida. Probably not a great idea to take a second Turbo here. Because we're using one Turbo to get Meteor Strike out. Do I need to increase the consistency of that? Not really. I want Skim. Skim is the card that I want right now. I do need to upgrade Meteor Strike and Sunder because they are effectively our only sources of damage right now. There's another Sunder. It's also extremely important that I get past this boss. Do I rest? It says I should rest. Is it correct? It is. I don't have enough HP to survive this fight without that. Because I don't have defense in this deck yet. Let's also use a power potion here. And I'm actually also going to use a focus potion. Perfect. Pretty much exactly right turn to get that effect as well. Thank you, game. I mean, I can deal 30 damage right now, but then I'm taking a bunch back as well. I kind of have to, though. I don't really have a choice. Ouch. Yeah, this is a disappointing hand, but at the very least it'll get you down. Beautiful. And thanks to our earlier rest, yeah, we're now covered. Cool. This guarantees that any attack will go through here. Yeah, beautiful. Well, I mean, I do play my defenses first, so I don't take 3 more damage, so I can regen as much as is humanly possible. Fission versus All for One versus Seek. We don't really zero cost our things. I mean, we will upgrade Zap and Dual Cast quite quickly. Does All for One go in this deck? I don't think it does, but does it? I don't think it does, but what if it does, though? No, this deck is a combo deck, right? Because we need to have Turbo and Meteor Strike at the same time. Taking Seek, especially if I upgrade Seek, will give me a bunch more avenues to get that together, because if I have Turbo and Seek, then I just take the Meteor Strike with the Seek. If I have Meteor Strike and Seek, I take the Turbo. If I have Seek and I don't have either of them and Seek is upgraded, I take both. Yeah. It'll increase the consistency. And this is something I was worried about. Is it Runic Pyramid? I mean, we have the Centennial Puzzle. So, Runic Pyramid, its downside is slightly offset by the fact that the first time I take damage in a fight, I will draw 3 cards, and then by that point, I'll, you know, be able to accurately use my hand. I'm looking at the Inserter, but I'm looking at the Inserter optimistically right now. Because I'm looking at the Inserter and thinking, okay, what if a fight's going long and I just end up with a ridiculous amount of plasma, courtesy of having played the Meteor Strike a bunch of times, and I do get the draw in my deck that I'm looking for. Okay. I'm looking for Skim primarily, but I'll take some lower rent options. Not just any, but some. Yeah, worth. I can play exactly one of those, because if I play... Oh no, I wasn't even cursed! I should have played both. I just assumed, and we all know about assumptions, right? I just assumed that I didn't have the energy required. Oh, not that I didn't have the energy required. Sorry, that the enemy had hexed me already when they had not. Yeah, and that mistake is going to cost me a fair tick of HP. Oh gosh, actually it's going to cost me a ridiculous amount of HP. Damn it! Oh, the small mistakes stack up. I was looking at Compile Driver last floor, and the reason I was looking at it was I was thinking how many different... Like, it could be effective draw for us, but how many different orbs do I ever really have channeled? Not that many. Like 2 at maximum. And that is a maximum. Like, oftentimes I have 0 or 1. So, I think we'll go for the hologram, which is like a quote-unquote card draw. Okay, Beam Cell Sunder seems obvious here. Life's pretty rough, though. Because we're about to die. Okay, let's think about this one for a couple more seconds. I think I have to use hologram. I think I'm dead. I think this is the end. Because I can get 23 in. I can seek for a 1-hit. And then I can hologram to bring back what? Like, what's my most damage effective? Beam Cell? If I hologram to bring back dual cast, I can't play it. Huh. Funnily enough, Inserter may have killed me here because I can deal 8, like, if I would have dealt 8 more damage this turn had I not had the Inserter. So the enemy would be on 15, which means that combined Beam Cell and the Strike would have killed. That's interesting. All right, well, let's actually just defend ourselves because I just realized that I have the option to do that. For some reason, I just didn't even think that was an option. I thought, okay, yeah, we need to kill or we're dying here. Upgraded hologram, sure. Yep, more than happy to remove another card from my deck. I do want to make this deck more defensive. Oh, this isn't going to help. Oh, this isn't going to make the case better. Oh boy. Oh dear. Good lord. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Sing it again, yo. Okay. I'm trying to envision a way in which I can kill either of them this turn. Probably not the backliner, because then the frontliner goes completely berserk. Because I think we're just dead. Didn't really have a choice in that path, unfortunately. Yeah, my assumption that I was hexed on turn 1 against the Chosen in the first fight, which resulted in me bleeding like 20 more HP than I needed to, killed me. Like what? I can seek maximum damage is Meteor Strike, deal 50. So I could Beam Cell the back line and Meteor Strike the back line after a turbo. Perfect. I get to kill it, but then nothing happens after that. I can't kill with Asunder, so I can't get an energy refund. Could I kill with Asunder? Theoretically possible I could kill with Asunder. I'm going to have to try to do that. And then somehow try to draw into defense. This isn't going to work. It is closer to working now than it was before. That's the closest I could get it. Vanquished. Alright then. Let's not try and play around the idea, the pipe dream, in fact, that we'll get Snecko Eye at the end of the first floor. Ooh, choose a rare card to obtain. Thunderstrike, Reboot, All for One. Reboot and All for One both go into zero cost decks. Zero cost decks are apparently much more consistent in the high Ascension mode, so that's what I keep being told. Not to go for orbs, just to go for the zero cost deck. It could be said, cheesed out a lot of the lower Ascensions just by running zero cost decks the entire time. And some of them did interesting things, but a lot of them were very samey. So I kind of swore off them for a fair while. So I'm always a little bit hesitant to start building a zero cost run. But you know what? If we're going to start with an all for one, you gotta. You got it, right? Super early shop. I'm fighting an elite no matter where I go. All right, we're good. We are good. Good. And 0? Recursion upgrades to be 0. Still not worth. Reinforced body is a defense card that we just use while we stall. Yeah. All right. Take that as a value. Good instincts. Go for the eyes. I think I take both. How long is a fight typically going to go? Not long enough to use good instinct. Not long enough to use Steam Barrier enough times for good instincts to be a better card. Is that true? Do I take Steam Barrier now? Especially considering I already have Reinforced Body, I don't know if I need it right now. Whereas removing cards that aren't 0 cost also makes this deck stronger. Right. Speaking of removing cards that aren't 0 cost, remove a Defend because we do have a Reinforced Body. That just sounds like I'm bragging about having abs. I don't. I have extraordinarily few abs. I might have the fewest abs of any man ever. I have one big ab. Some might call it a gut. Fair point to them. FTL. Do we take it? I mean, it is a 0 cost build, but the problem with FTL coming back is what's it doing for us? Small amount of damage? I actually think I still take it. This early in the game, I'm just going to want some things to kind of push me along. Yeah, just weaken you for another turn. Yeah, there's nothing else I could do there anyhow. Whew. Awesome. Knew I had lethal no matter what there. Skim, Steam Barrier, Streamline. Well, now we'll take the Steam Barrier. I won't yet upgrade it. In fact, I will upgrade All for One because it's a significant portion of our damage right now. Ooh. Should have played the Reinforced Body. I would have blocked for 1 more damage there. Immediately noticed it as soon as I screwed it up. Which, you know, it could be argued that's too late to have noticed that. Fair point. Go for the eyes. Awesome. This fight could have been a hell of a lot worse. You also get the Odd Mushroom. When vulnerable, take 25% more damage rather than 50% more damage. Scrape and Recycle could both theoretically go in this deck. I mean, Scrape is just a way to dig for 0 cost cards, then All for One is a way to kind of recuperate. Okay. Easy opener. Especially because I haven't been made weak. Mm-hmm. I do want to deal as much damage as humanly possible this turn, so... I was basically just deciding at that point whether or not I was going to use a natural block or another Steam Barrier. Speaking of another Steam Barrier, there's another Steam Barrier. Data Disc started combat with +1 focus. I mean, hopefully it doesn't affect us. But if it does, cool. We do need to upgrade both Zap and Dual Cast. Again, having those 0 costs just waiting for us is going to be super handy. That could have been a lot worse. Mm-hmm. So you're weakened this turn. You're naturally dealing 8. If I played Reinforced Body, you would go up to dealing 10. But your weakening will take you from 10 rounds down to 7. So the Reinforced Body will actually fully protect me this turn. Is that true? That is true. Just had to run it by my brain for a second there. Brain came back and said yes. Yep. No, just got this in. Just got this in. From brain? Yes. That's a yes on that one. I knew I could also equalize there as well, and I was reasonably likely to be able to pick up the damage to kill afterwards. So we actually managed to perfect that fight. That dude usually hands me the old what's for. Bronze Scales, whenever you take damage, deal 3 back. Hell of a lot of nothing right there. Do I take 1 damage here or Steam Barrier? Why would I ever take damage in this fight? I don't need to maintain the charges of Steam Barrier right now. They're fine. They'll be there. Awesome. This is a really powerful deck archetype. Who are we versing as the first boss? That's actually probably a pretty good enemy for us, to be honest. Should be okay. Not a 3rd Steam Barrier. Do I take a recycle? A 0-cost recycle is not a bad way to burn burns out of my deck. I take recycle. I don't upgrade it yet, though. We're going to take a fair bit of damage here, so I'm actually going to throw a fire potion and then dual cast for a kill. Hell yeah. So when I said we're going to take a fair bit of damage, what I meant is we're fine. We are RNGesus. Again, game, please. I'm taking some Steam Barriers. I appreciate your offering at the moment, game, but this is now untenable. You need to actually give me like a claw or a beam cell or something like that. I need damage. That is the worst draw that you can get with the scrape. The all for one. Then you miss it for that shuffle. Hologram Barrage Cold Snap. I'm actually tempted to take Cold Snap just because we've already got a data disc. It's a reasonable orb. Defensive. No, I shouldn't do that. Alright. We'll Smith once more. Again, upgrading something to be 0 cost. Just to increase the power of the deck. I am going to use a power potion here as well, speaking of power of the deck. Not extremely excited about this upcoming turn. I could full block this turn, or I could block mostly. Like, this is 27 block, incoming 30 no, this isn't 27 block, this is 21 block, rather. Incoming is 30, so I'll be hit twice. Once with 4 and then once with 5, which will trigger the static discharge twice. Or I could cop 30 damage on the chin in order to deal some DMG. I found the middle road. I accepted 16 damage. I was trying to use the scrape looking for a go for the eyes. God damn it. That's the second time we've passed over the the all for one accidentally. That actually might matter more later now. Also, taking 1 damage there dealt 9. Like a pretty good return rate. Okay. Definitely scrape first. One for the recycle and go again. I want to deal as much damage as quickly as possible, so we zap before we dual cast Tear. And then the enemy is dead. I mean, this is surprising to me. How kind of painless overall this ended up being. Essence of Steel. There's a second all for one. It's kind of necessary. Now, the big problem here is now that we have 2 all for ones, we desperately need the ability to cast both in the same turn because it makes for the largest burst turns of all time. So we kind of just have to take Ecto. Which means now my money is probably earmarked entirely for card removals. That is to say, earmarked exclusively. Oh, did it have to be both of these? Like, of all of the things it could have been, did it have to be the ones that take my money and won't give it back? I'm just asking for a friend. Oh, you're a mean one, Mr. Mugger. Oh, well. A pretty reasonable performance in this fight. By the deck, not by me. Boot sequence versus upgraded steam barrier versus turbo? No? Closest is probably turbo. Is it? If I didn't have reinforced body, I think I would take the second steam barrier here, especially because it's upgraded. I have a second all for one. Yeah, let's take that second steam barrier. I've also got to remind myself, things step the heck up on this floor. So we got to watch ourselves. No need to play steam barrier yet. Still on the good side of this. All right, FTL. Now it's time for those steamy barriers. Dual cast all for one. Dual cast will... Never mind. Dual cast all for one will do it. Speed potion. There's actually a couple enemies on this floor that I desperately want an ancient potion against. I probably want a speed potion more than an essence potion, which is damned insane. But seems to me probably to actually be the case. Melter's not a bad card. It's just, again, I'm trying to do zero cost. White Noise upgrades to zero cost, but can I afford to take it? I've got a couple other cards that I need to upgrade. First would be go for the eyes, though. Really need steam barriers. I'm taking it. Well, look. There's worse things than the Necronomicon. It'll double up the damage from all for one, and we've got two of them. They kind of define the deck in a way, so could be worse. Trip is a really good pickup here. It's the ability to apply vulnerability in an AoE. We'll also take a reprogram, and we will remove one more card from our deck. Beautiful. Ecto versus the new relic. Definitely not trading. Cracked Core versus this new relic. Definitely not trading. Alright, goodbye. The relic there, Noloth's Gift, just gives you a higher chance. I believe that in fact triples your chance of getting rare cards as a monster reward. I actually have a Elite as one of my upcoming fights. I don't really have a choice about it here, so... But I have an Elite coming up in one of my near fights, so I'm going to rest rather than not rest, which would be my usual modus operandi. All for one, twice. Oops. That's not the right order. Okay. I could have saved 5 more HP there, but I think these speed potions are probably going to be worth more than 5 HP in the long run. I've got to think about things like, would I take a Hyper Beam? Were a Hyper Beam offered, would I take it? Because it would double tap with the awful ones. Alright, you're more fragile. You aren't a problem until next turn. So I probably all for one the shield gremlin. Double taps it, kills it. I can strike. Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you for deciding to attack. That's my favorite thing. I'm definitely not being an incredibly sarcastic dick about it. I would never. Really? Game, you know what you just did. Sneaky gremlin being alive. Never seen such BS in my entire life. Alright. Get some zero costs out of here. Ooh, loop. Double up on those. Time for more damage. Ouch. I gotta be honest, I think there's only one way we win here. I think it's killing this gremlin leader. Because if we start killing these gremlin wizards, we're not going to be able to do so quickly enough to guarantee the gremlin leader doesn't attack. I think we just have to go straight at the gremlin leader. Straight for the throat. Perfect. Extremely perfect. Doubles up on that damage, and the throat has been gone for. Regal Pillow, heal an additional 15 HP when you rest. That's our third all for one. I'm starting to think someone up there likes me. Orichalcum, if you enter a turn without block, gain 6 block. I mean, you kind of gain a hell of a lot of block, but yeah, it's not a bad thing to have more. We'll target the one that is going to be the most troublesome for us first. Oh, sorry, the least troublesome for us first, rather. Don't know why I said that incorrectly. I know what I meant, I just didn't say what I meant. Okay. We're now well defended. And I'll throw those out so I never have to deal with them. Beautiful. Frontliner dies from the double all tap here. And then we murder. Is this our win? In Ascension 14? Oh god. Oh god. Guess what I just realized? I know who our final boss is gonna be. Oh, there's no question. There's no question. Of course it's going to be that. Use FTL to draw Scrape. I'm just going to try and get as many zero-cost cards in my discard pile as I possibly can right now. You know what? I actually don't want anything to screw with my costs, so there's our Ancient Potion. Our final boss is obviously going to be Time Eater, and then Time Eater is going to make me feel like a natural woman. Gonna be a rough fight. Like a natural woman? You make me feel like a natural woman. No, that's not even the song I was thinking of. I was thinking of Dangerous Woman. Whatever. Either way, Snecko's dead. Fear Potion's ours. I'm actually looking at that Chill. That's an upgraded one as well. It's quite defensive. Great defensive card. I'm actually also looking at going right rather than left here. Yeah. Left gets us to another shop that we can't actually use. So it's a bit rough. I'm going to want more defense. So. 7 damage taken. Let's apply some vulnerability on the back line. Definitely did that wrong. So fine next turn. Yeah, if I wanted to fully defend that turn, it would have been correct to double up on the dual cast. Play the dual cast first. Drop a trip on you. Double up on that hit super easily. And there's our third trip. And now we're safe. I actually want my next hand to be exactly what's in my deck because I want to draw 5 so that I have the all for one, as well as haven't shuffled my discard pile yet. Ice cream energy is now conserved between turns. That's actually quite handy. I was considering electrodynamics there for a second. I will, however, rest here. Again, for safety's sake. Well, I got good news and bad news. The good news, I'm going to save a hell of a lot of energy. Bad news is this fight could be a problem. Oh, huge. Alright, we'll weaken the back line. So then I don't have to play Steam Barrier. Okay. Trip both of the small awful ones. Now, I purposefully not triggered the FTL because I want my next hand to be a hand of 5. Not to reshuffle my deck if I can avoid it. That said, I have a feeling it's not going to matter. Call it a hunch. Essence of Steel. That's probably too many chills. If I take this. An argument could be made that I've already picked up too many chills. Alright, we're out of here. I don't think I can rest before this boss, though. I think I have to upgrade something. I want to upgrade Trip because it comes ridiculously effective. No, it's go for the eyes. We need the extra turn of Weaken, especially against this enemy. Yeah, that was extremely clear. Steam Barrier, chill. I mean, I can just put all of those into the discard pile and then take them back. Which is what I should have been doing this whole time if I wasn't bad. Bad to the bone. Dual cast time? I'm thinking it's dual cast time. Yeah. I'm extremely excited to see what we gain from our white noise. All that I'm hearing from you is white noise, white noise. No need to cast any of those. I was thinking, oh, let's just play the reinforced body. There's no reason to. I'll just keep my energy for a big ice cream later. Defrag's not great. Being able to recycle a strike is pretty good, though. Unfortunately here, I am going to have to all for one before I scrape, because if I scrape, it'll shuffle my discard pile. I need to open some space in my hand, so we will recycle first. Okay. Let's zap. I know what's in my deck already, so I'm not going to reprogram. Let's use one Steam Barrier, one Dual Cast, and then scrape. Beautiful. Now I can reprogram and cut out everything that isn't perfect. So everything looks fine and dandy right now. And it is fine and dandy right now. But this fight will turn on a gosh dang dime When this guy transforms, he gets mean. Very, very mean. Did I leave 0-cost cards in here? No, I haven't. Okay. So I did manage my hand size correctly. Just kind of concerned about that. 2-cost once more. Reprogram once more. You're not going to attack next turn. You're going to self-buff. Self-buff. Sorry, you'll purge. There it is. Well, this is a wee bit unfortunate. Now I'm still vulnerable, and you're doing your execute turn, and I just lost my reinforced body into the deck. I'm not certain if this is clear, but life just got very, very rough for us. 45. Okay, I can defend that. It is theoretically possible. Perfect amount of HP left there, bud. Okay. Double up on that awful one. And your life is basically over. Ooh, even doubling this awful one isn't going to be enough by itself. So I'm actually going to have to kick in some damage of my own. Imagine my own surprise. Alright. Power Potion. Not bad. Seek is really good. Gets you the right thing at the right time a lot of the time. I don't need extra energy, so it's not Philo Stone. I also don't want to take more damage if I can avoid it. We do need more 0 cards that just do things. Like, we need more FTLs. We need more... Not more Steam Barriers, definitely. More FTLs, more Beam Cells. So I could go about that with Ori, or... Ruri. I could try and Astrolabe to transform 2 of my strikes into defend. Yeah, this is removal as well as the possibility, whereas the other one is the possibility. Okay, we got an FTL. Upgraded as well. We got a Core Surge, which is also quite good. We got a Lock-On, which is damage, I guess. As long as I've already got vulnerability on the enemy, I'll feel a bit better about that one. So, ultimately, my goal on this floor is just get to the final boss with as little scathing as is possible. That is to say, unscathed. Just wanted to guarantee my own defense. Definitely FTL. It's a fine next hand. It's hard to defend, and then we'll kill next turn. What else would I take? Something like Vajra? I'd be excited to see. Welcome. You are exactly the kind of reason why I took chill. Thank you for being here. Glad you could attend. If I take 1 damage here, I can deal 5 more. That's not going to be big. The thing that we want is trip and then a double hit from something. These thorns are actually going to be a problem. Ow. Steam barrier, steam barrier, steam barrier. There we go. Now we can actually hit you twice. Ouch. 28, 28, 28, 28, 28. Okay. Fine. Second go for the ice. Sure. Transform card? Sure, there's a couple garbage cards in here. I mean, the defends are probably garbage compared to the reinforced body and steam barriers. Yeah. Creative AI is a win condition, but God, I don't want to play it. Already defended. I also probably should have looked ahead and thought about dual casting my lightning orb there instead of having it do the stuff itself. Right, let's seek a, or rather an all for one. And go for the trip again. Perfect. That frontliner is real easy to knock over pretty much whenever I want. Boom. Knocked him over. Not an extreme fan of the amount of damage I'm taking here, though. Frontliner was about to deal 30, though, so, you know. Kinda had to. Thank you, Orichalcum. I forgot you were there. Steam Barry, creative. Sure. I don't need to take more damage here. A thing that I extraordinarily do not need is less HP. God, stop giving me creative AI back, please. Whew. All right, we're set up to kill in 2 turns now. And then we just pass. Beautiful. Reprogram turbo sweeping. No, thank you. Definitely got to rest in the next camp. I'll be actually at this point a little surprised if I get there. I'm going to play the creative AI here over all for one because I think getting a clutch buffer. Oh my God. I actually did as well. I was about to say, I think getting a clutch buffer is going to be the difference between life and death in this exact fight. I'm frankly gobsmacked. That's wild. Okay. Pretty easy turns here. We'll seek to find a 0 cost. Trip is a great one. Double up on that all for one, and let's go again. Next hand has 1 all for one. Does it not? It doesn't? Okay. That's fine. Apparently I misunderstood something, but that is okay. That happens from time to time to time to time to again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I don't really need to worry too much about my ordering of play. Well, kind of annoyingly, Scrape can't pick that up, so. So, if that's already the amount of damage you do, I will play Storm, and I will play Stack. I'm gonna take 2 damage here. But it does give me another Lightning. Could turn in handy. Come in handy, rather. And that'll finish the fight off. Beautiful. I'm I gotta be honest, I'm tempted to take the self-repair just because our HP is garbage. But the thing is, if we do get to the final boss, self-repair is suddenly a garbage card in our deck. I'm not gonna go for the elite, but I think it was pretty imperative that we rest there. Again, should have dual cast before I did any of that. Let's take another 0 cost out of here. FCL is probably a great pick. Go for that. Dual cast. All on the back line twice. Steal the front for 5. Beautiful. All of that worked out pretty damn well, considering. There's no need to use all of my energy this turn on the reinforced body. I can fully defend myself without it. Okay. Slight bit of a waste there, but it's all fine. 6 per time I hit you. Okay. That just means I hit you as much as I can here. And you're not dead yet, but soon. Reboot. 1000% reboot. Like, reboot the deck. Claw. And bag of preparation. And I think Flux just turned on. What are you doing, Flux? I don't even have Flux installed on this PC at the moment. What is happening? Duvu Doll. For each cursing your deck, start each combat with 1 additional strength. I have 2. Why do I have 2? Oh, the Necronomicon. I was thinking the Necronomicon was going to be 1, but I forgot about the curse of being an Ascension. That's actually 2 extra strength, which is super significant considering, you know, how we deal damage. Which is lots of very small hits. Death by 1,000 cuts. Remove a card from my deck. I mean, even if I could remove a curse at this rate, I wouldn't be. That recycle does need to be upgraded. Fishing for it is a problem. I kind of want to get the creative AI out of the deck as well. But the creative AI also might be the only thing that saves me in a certain situation. I can imagine that being the case. Just peppering down this Spheric Guardian. These guys are going to have to die passively. The Spheric Guardian, I will have a more active involvement in the destruction of. As euphemistically as I can explain. And beautiful. Unfortunately, I have now become frail. It's kind of what I was trying to avoid, but thanks to Chill, everything's still pretty, good. Alright. We'll double up on the lightning there. Again, for dealing passive damage, because I really don't have the ability to just turn around and hit any of these right now. Take a hell of a lot. Oh, crumbs. Oh, beans. This is a problem. I guess. Getting defense before an attack occurs is real rough for our deck. Oh boy. Okay, we'll double up a Storm, and then we'll play Defrag, and then we'll play Heat Sinks. This is now a power deck. Do not be alarmed. The misery that is now upon you is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. Capacitor? No. Continue with the deck purity. We'll Smith here. I want to upgrade Reboot. I want to upgrade Seek. I need to upgrade Recycle. There are going to be a lot of cards, especially after we played a creative AI in our deck, that we do not want in our deck. Whee! Okay. Income 27. Can I kill any of these targets? Not really. Okay. Let's trip up the more easily murdered target. And if we could also just immediately forget to use FTL at the right time, that would also be handy. Oh, we did? Oh, good work. Good work, us. Ordering lull. We've got another awful one in there. As long as we draw it in this hand, we're fine. Oh. I mean, that's fine. It's not like I wanted it at all. Perfect. Whew. Had to be quiet there for a second. Regen potion for regen. I don't know that it's going to be actively better than any of those. Duplicate a card in my deck. Y'all, I got a dumb idea right here. What if I duplicate Ascender's Bane so they get an extra strength? I'm doing it. Rest here for full HP going into the final fight. Power potion time. Well. I mean, it's the right turn for a buffer. Oh my god, that's Echo Form. I'm gonna recycle this, that creative AI. I don't want my deck to just become all creative. 40, yeah, figured. This one's gonna be a problem. Yeah. Because there's a lot of things I want to cast this turn. There's no reason not to have just generated that earlier, right? God, you deal a lot of damage. Okay. FTL in the wrong order so that we draw fewer cards. And pretend that that was an intentional thing rather than a mistake that I made because I'm bad. Ooh, there's another go for you. Make sure the Steam Barrier for the defense. We don't want to leave you with this turn. 21. I don't really have that many options here. Oh, hitting you is actually worth a lot more than it usually is. Okay. One all for one still in the deck. Youch, youch, youch indeed. The damage is frankly insane. Zap. I'm actually considering what is the possibility I deal 151 damage this turn, 140. I mean, it's more right now than it was a couple seconds ago. It has to start with FTL. Then I have to seek out the all for one. Double cast that all for one. You're kidding me. It's not going to be enough. Oh my god, it is. We did it! They said it couldn't be done. I don't know who they are. The they to which I refer. But they said it couldn't be done. And I said, yeah, probably right. So, you know what? I proved all of us wrong. You charge your core to its maximum, 1,164 damage. We can finally move on to Ascension. Oh, freak. There's another level of Ascension left. Well, at the very least, we know that the all-for-one archetype is, you know, much stronger than we've prior given it credit for. We also did have Necronomicon and Duvu Doll and Ice Cream all coming in clutch. We had, like, really good transitions from the Astrolabe. We got 3 copies of All for One. Creative AI happened to give us a really great opener. We also got an Echo Form in that final fight as well, despite the fact that Echo Form kind of plays against you in the Time Eater fight. I am quite pleased with how that all went. Obviously, there's a couple things that could have gone better. We could have gotten claws in the certain circumstances in which they were offered. That is to say, in the one shop in which a claw was offered, it would have been nice to have it. However, you can't complain about a win, at least not loudly. For the moment, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.